not, then I want to introduce Anthony. Anthony will present the facilities operation and maintenance project. We worked very hard on it, so wonderful.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Again, I'm Anthony Amy, here to present the facilities and operations maintenance budget for the 2017-18 school year. All right, just to get started, I want to go over a couple of things, and I'll O&M update for some of the work that we completed throughout the district in this last year. And a little beyond capital bond project on the high school, the auditorium air conditioning was installed and is up and running. We had it up and running over the summer and into the spring, but we really haven't had a chance to fully test it with big load in there. So it's up and running, and we'll see how it goes. And even in the fall, we didn't really have many days in there that were super hot, but it is functional. Furnace woods, we did electrical panel replacement in the hallways, the septic system. We put in a dechlorination system. And the ammonia system is being reviewed by the DEC to find out what we have to do, that if we have to tweak that system as well in both Furnace Woods and Blue Mountain Middle School. Blue Mountain Middle School, we did some mechanical upgrades with some ventilation. We're still in the process of finalizing that. We're about 95% complete with that. We have a construction meeting tomorrow to meet the contractor out there to see what he's found and what direction we want to go with that project. Some exterior lighting, some LED lighting in the parking lots, DV mechanical upgrades with heating controls, put on the building management system.
Have we had any lost days? I mean, has the septic system worked this year?
Yes.
Like
Every day,
lost
has it
days
been
like
out of
we did
out
on
of service
Saturday?
for any point in time?
Do it?
Has it been out of service for any point in time? No. When we did the construction, what we did for the construction is we pumped down both holding tanks, so they were all the way down. This way, we could do the repairs over a couple of days, or the upgrades over a couple of days, and before that tank would fill back up again. So we kind of like had the cook come in, pump down the tanks, work go on, and then we had it pumped again.
Cook is at home.
Right, cook is the septic cook.
Not someone who works on it.
So, but I just, in years past, we had lost some days because of those issues, sewage issues in the schools. No more.
No, and some of the other upgrades with the septic system, we put in new pumping station, we redid the controls for the pumping station, we put new pumps in there. Now they're on a slide rail system, so they can be easily maintained. They can be drawn back up, maintained, replaced, repaired, and slid back down into position. Instead of having to go into the septic tank, the pumping station itself, and work on the pump and try to get it out. So now they're on slide rail systems where they can be hoisted and lowered in.
So you can work on it on dry ground.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. Guys are thinking of everything.
Yes. Well,
Hey,
trying to
they're
come up with the
smart
21st
guys.
century. Utility costs over the last year, we've reduced some of our utility costs. Solar project was finished last March, so it's 1 year complete in operation. And then we've done some LED light installations, which we'll talk about in the next couple of things, and the same thing with the solar. I have another slide, we'll talk a little bit about that
Good,
as well.
because I have questions.
Improving overall facilities. High school, we did a life skills lab. We renovated 2 classrooms, totally for life skills. For what we have is a program that's been coming up through the different elementary schools and the middle school, and now it's at the high school. So we put that program in place here. We renovated completely from bottom up 2 classrooms.
That's the ABC program, that's a life skills
Yes.
for the ABC. Okay.
Correct. Some floor tile, we did some carpet replacement in a couple of classrooms, some LED lighting, Canberra planks, we replaced some locks, doors, and hardware, some street lighting, the wall that was in the back by the playground, that's paving, furnace woods, more LED street lighting, paving, painting classrooms, floor tile replacement, Frankie Lindsay, classroom painting, carpet tile, lighting, and at the bus garage, we had it re-stucco, painted, and cracks fixed.
Anthony, is there a schedule that, you will do so many classrooms in painting and that will continue,
Sort of like the computer schedule.
Yeah,
We ask that all the time, right, John?
Every year.
yeah. But is that
It has a
included in this whole plan?
Yes, and so it's as budget permits, I usually earmark a certain amount of dollars off to the side, and there's a couple of ways that we go about doing a project where we're replacing the carpet and the tile. So where my guys can go in and rip out the carpet, replace the tile, my guys will go in and do it. If there's something beyond our capability where I have to have a contractor come in, maybe the floor needs to be leveled, maybe we have asbestos floor tile underneath the carpet, where we have to have outside contractors come in, which is a little more costly, so then we have to budget for that. And that's what we had to do here last summer. We had 3 classrooms all together at an asbestos floor tiling, which kind of hampers the project because that's, like I said, costs more money. So we had to schedule when the kids were out of session. We had to just plan and budget for it accordingly. But we do have, we try to knock off a certain amount every year.
I mean, I just know from being in the elementary classrooms that a lot of times the carpets just get so disgusting, you know, that they have to be replaced. I mean, it's not right for the kids to be sitting on them or anything
Correct.
else.
Absolutely. And
So-
it's kind of a battle going back and forth with some teachers like the carpet because they do in the smaller grades. They like to have their carpet area where they can sit on and the kids can
Right.
come. It's a nice warmer environment for them than sitting on the whole hard, cold tile floor. So we do have area rugs that we will put out, and then those area rugs are maintained as well. They get cleaned during the off season, and then if they get beyond their useful life, they get disposed and we'll buy new ones those as well.
So it hasn't changed. It's still the same. Okay. Thank you, Anthony.
Some of the bigger cost drivers, we kind of like to mention these every year, but it's nice to talk about them because electric is one of the bigger line items. So electric encompasses the New York Power Authority. Now we have the solar in that line item, and then we have Con Edison where we do a little bit of electric Con Ed and a little bit of gas. NYPA production costs increased about 3% this year, and we're looking for them to increase again about 5% next year.
Don't they know about the 2% cap?
They're not aware of
Obviously
that.
not. Right, right.
But we spend about $231,000 to date on electric bus with NYPA. And, you know, with NYPA, a lot of what their costs are driven by is the outside market, what's going on with gas prices and things like that. So even though they come up and they say it's going to be a 5% increase or 8% or 3%, whatever the case may be, that's also on a sliding scale as well because they have to make their money to go back to their investors or how they figure it all out. It's the whole formula. And then we have our utility budget, which is approximately, like I said, about $527,800. Solar is about $160. NYPA is $317, kind of about $50,000 of that. So here we have a little bit of solar data.
Good.
5 buildings producing solar power. High School, Frank G, Blue Mountain Middle School, BV, and Furnace Woods. They're all up and running. They all came online at different points in time. So the high school was on sometime in January. Now we're going down to the end building like BV coming on sometime somewhere in the end of March, middle of March.
Of last year, because it's
Last
been a year.
that's
Because it's been a year.
Correct.
How is it reliable? How's it been working?
It's been working pretty well. You know, we have it so we can chart. There's a website that I can go to and I can chart it and I can see, and you can see on the rainy, dreary days, you can see where it dips down. I was just, curiosity killed the cat, so I went on it the last week to see where it was based on all the snow and everything. You can see it was basically zero. It wasn't really doing anything. And then, you know, Thursday-ish, you could see there was a small sliver of, you know,
Hope.
production that was coming through because now the panels are starting to peak back out. And then today, I went back and checked it today, and you can see it was about 75%, 80% up to where it normally was the week before. So we try to chart it and see where it is. But it's been working pretty well. I haven't seen anything where, you know, where it's been offline or something like that, where something burnt out, where it seems to be pretty steady, you know, going on.
Enrique, can you address the financial aspects of that? Because, well, with the Indian Point stuff, it looks like there's going to be some volatility in prices, but we've got 40% of our power locked in at a price.
Yes, actually, Anthony and I were discussing that last week. For next year, our average cost per kilowatt hour is, for the solar panels, is going to be, which is
13.
13, no, 13 point, yeah, point 1.134 NIPA about 0.18. So we are like 5 cents below. We have an increase of 2% per year. That's it. So at this level, we'll probably in the 20 years we won't get to the level that we're paying NIPA today.
That's the goal of it all. Since inception, we produced roughly about 1 gigawatt hour of power. We've reduced our carbon dioxide footprint 1.6 million pounds, and that's the equivalent of taking about 1.7 million miles of cars, taking them off the roadway, or growing trees, 19,000 trees for 10 years. Kind of like a wacky thing, but that's from the website itself.
Yeah, but that's
where
cool.
We charted so you can see what's going on.
That's cool.
And to date, we've saved approximately $30,000 worth of cost. And again, everything wasn't up and running, so we're going to slowly tweak it and see what's going on. So maybe next year we'll have a better idea of what our savings is.
And I just asked Joe about, like you said, that it was like dead. Is it up? If we went up and cleaned them off, would we have produced more?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to do that, or does the company have to come do that?
Depends on what we're cleaning them off for. So there's a serviceability for them. It's only in their best interest for the
come clean them
panels to be
off.
up and running. Because the
Right.
more power they produce, the more we're purchasing from them. So if their panels aren't producing power, now we're purchasing more power from NIPA. So it's only in their best interest to have their panels up and running 100% efficiency. So if there's a maintenance issue with the panels, there's a whole bank of them out, they would come in and repair them because they own the whole system from soup to nuts. We don't own anything with the system. So it's in their best interest. But I was debating that just to see if they were going to be out for a long period of time, then would we go up there maybe with a broom or something like that and speak to the Sun Edison if we can go up there and just clear off some of the snow so we could produce some more power. So if we had a really bad winter where they're covered from, January through, then we might want to go up there and do something. But that would have to be an agreement.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking, which leads to an interesting conversation about warranty and
Right.
So they would have to, prescribe what we could do and what we couldn't do up on top of the panels.
But you don't want to break anything.
I mean, it's in both of our best interests because we save the money if we're purchasing power through that way, and it's in their best interest because now we're purchasing power from
From
them.
them.
So a couple more drivers, fuel oil was a big topic of discussion. Cost per gallon of oil has increased from last winter. Last year was approximately $1.26 per gallon average. This year it was about $1.70. What we normally do is we try to purchase that oil like either at the end of the season or at the beginning of the September when the price is low, stock our tanks up. This way we can jump in through the winter and take advantage of that low price. Fuel saving measures we implemented, energy performance contracts, logistics, weatherization, exterior door replacement, we continue to do that. And we're also running the high school boilers on natural gas. We've actually been doing that for about a year and a half now, and that's defrayed some of that cost as well for the oil. And gas has been a decent price. Propane, we increased in cost last year for this time. Budget with propane, we're looking to decrease it. We don't use a lot of propane, so it doesn't really drive it too much, but it's nice to keep an eye on it to see where it's going. Natural gas, cost has increased again from last year. We only have a couple of buildings running on natural gas because we don't have that service coming into all the buildings. So, but it's good to keep an eye on it. And it's remained about the same and expected to slightly increase. And like I said, we're running the high school boilers on natural gas and we've been seeing the cost savings for that, which is good.
So you've still got Synergistics in there. Are we still using that service? We just don't have an Energy Czar anymore?
We just don't have the czar, whatever you want to call it. So the philosophy is still there, and the staff is still supposed to be using that same mentality. So I've been, doing a little bit of it, making sure, going around, talking to my custodians, making sure, and if they're seeing things on, I should say, they're trying to remind the staff to turn things off. And then sometimes during the breaks, what I'll do is I'll send out reminders during the breaks, that they have to do that. I have to be a little more diligent with it since we don't have the czar anymore, but the philosophy is supposed to remain such.
And
We also have a turnaround to staff.
the software remains with us too.
Yes.
The software, so you know what you're using, you can monitor.
Yep.
You just don't have the behavioral control aspects
So
of it
that
with
saves
the
us
czar.
$25,000, right? Not having that person.
Yeah,
Oh, the contract.
yeah, that saved us $22,000.
I see it's still.
Are we finding, like, I know you could check that too, so are we finding that we're kind of saving the same amount? Because I know
Yes.
when we first started this, it showed a nice savings.
Honestly, it's that
Or is it
Anthony,
has it leveled off?
Anthony works very hard, specifically when we have long vacations like the spring, he sends email to the whole staff reminding them to turn off all their equipment and everything. So in that sense, we don't have a SAR, but Anthony really has picked up that job without coming here in the middle of the night or anything like that. But we've seen that the behavior is still there. We haven't lost them.
Good.
And my custodians are still running the boilers based on what we've learned from senior districts as well. So, the philosophies and the teachings for them, how to do this, how to do that, the timing of turning on the boilers, coming in through different zones and not heating up the whole building, that's still there, because that staff is still there. So those guys, in terms of that, running that, is still the same.
We still receive their help desk support and other. Yep.
And it's still the part, if I remember, it was like we're guaranteed to save a certain amount or else they pay us?
Yes.
Something like that, right? Is that still happening?
No, that's
What happened?
no.
The contract.
That was the
The
contract.
Well, how long was that
expired.
contract for? I thought that was for 20 years.
10 years?
I'll have to check.
Okay.
I'll have to check
It was a
that.
3 or 4 year contract.
Yeah, I thought it was,
Yeah, the 4 years.
last year.
Yeah.
I think it was because we don't pay them anymore.
Right.
We don't pay them anything. So now we're saving. How much we were paying them? Yeah, about 100,000. That contract is over, so now we're not paying.
So that's like 125,000 we're saving.
Well, it was a lump sum contract, and then part of it for the czar.
No, no,
Yeah,
Right,
we-
that's what she was told them. She was told them $100,000 that we were paying for them, which was in quarterly payments. And
Well,
also something- then we had
22,000.
22,000 for the czar, so altogether about 125. And then we had software, things like that, we had like 2,000 here or whatever, so roughly that amounts. And this is the overall picture of the proposed budget. So roughly we're going for instructional salaries about 2.4 million to 2.5, which is an increase of about 85,000, 3.51%. Equipment, we've dropped that from 135 to 108, about 27,000, so about 20% reduction. Contractual services, 160,000 to 120, $40,000, 25% reduction. And contract services, what we do for the outside services, and sometimes we don't have the same services that we need only because of the different maintenance schedules and things like that that are going on throughout the district. Insurance is the next several are the same, kept the same insurance, maintenance contracts, professional services, and materials and supplies. Oil, we decreased a little bit because we're seeing a little bit of the savings and we're just tweaking that number a little bit. About $30,000 or about 10%. Electrical and gas, we went up about $14,207, about 2.7. Municipal water, we kept the same. Telephone from 60 to 58, about $2,000 reduction, about 3%. Gas, propane, I should say, about 4.5 to 20, $1,500 or 7%. Maintenance projects, we went from 105,000 to 100,000. Dropped to 5,000, about 5%. And then overall, it's still about 4.3 million, but about a $20,000 reduction, or 0.4, about 0.5% reduction. For the most part, it's pretty much the same. We're not seeing anything that's increasing or moving crazy in any one direction one way or the other. We're able to do whatever we're doing, keep it up the same.
Now, I know we haven't had one of our meetings in a while, but do we see anything that needs to get done? Because I know we've done paving. I know, like, what are you thinking of has to come next?
Well, we could still continue to do paving.
I know.
You know,
The
there's
bottom of the hill.
still some roofing work and water intrusion work that needs to be done at the high school. There's still a couple issues. They're not visible issues where you're going to see them, but they are happening behind the scenes and they've been, progressing a little bit. So those have to be taken care of as well. Like I said, paving is always a big issue throughout the district. Field maintenance is always a big issue throughout the district. There's a lot of things that have happened over the last several years. We've improved a lot of things, but there's still a lot more that we can be doing. Playgrounds have all pretty much all been increased or upgraded. We do have some issues, I think, the kindergarten playgrounds at both Furnace Woods and Frank G. are going to have to be done something in the future.
Which I think we're in the project.
I think we were talking about putting it in the project with that bond. So we had a lot of things earmarked, from the building condition survey. So what we'll do is we'll continue to do what we're doing, chip away, do a little bit here, a little bit there, continue with the carpet tile, lighting upgrades, things like that, ceiling tile, painting throughout the district. Just whatever we can, keep going. But there are things, the air conditioning units are getting, some of them other ones throughout the district are going to get into 10, 15 years.
Well, I know you've made an effort to hire people who can do this kind of work. You've hired, contractors, plumbers, to be our custodians and such. Do we have like somebody that covers each one, like an HVAC guy? Do you have? Has that sort of evolved to that?
Currently we
If
do.
you
Currently we
good.
have a person who pretty much can handle just about every discipline that we work through.
One person or a different person
Well,
for
I was
each?
just going to say that. So basically, it's for my
Anthony,
AC,
master of all
it's really
trades.
one guy. For like plumbing and mechanical, I have 1.5 guys. And,
That's okay.
Whatnot. In carpentry, we have several guys.
See, I'll take that over like one guy who can do all of it.
And electrical, same thing. We have one guy who main focus is that, and then we have a couple other guys that can do things. And like we hired a couple other guys, and I got guys now fixing things on the side and doing
And so do
everything.
you just sort of, in the summertime when they have these projects, just, send them to wherever they need to, as
Yeah.
opposed to just being like assigned to a building?
Correct. So during the summer, we run an incentive program. So we pay our staff a couple extra dollars a year. It's like, if you're the main guy, I think it's maybe $500. If you're the assistant, it's $250. That they get a little bit of extra money. And then during the course of the year, if I have an issue with floor tile, they can go out and do floor tile jobs. If I have an issue with painting, the guys can go out and they can, kind of like my painting crew when they go out and they paint.
Anthony, where does furniture replacement come in? Is that through individual schools?
Yes, furniture usually it goes in each of the buildings budget. So, for example, this year Cindy wanted to replace one or two classes, so she put money into it. So that's in the equipment code, general equipment code of each of the buildings. That's where that money is.
Okay. I just always wondered because,
Yes.
you have chairs breaking,
Yes.
you have sometimes tables, people want different
All
size
that is,
tables.
exactly, but all that comes in the general equipment building
Of each building.
of the building.
That's how we do
Yes.
it.
Thank you.
But we also have a cafeteria fund. So some of the cafeteria money, so when we need to do like cafeteria things like that, so Claire, we replaced the cafeteria tables in Frank G. Lindsay, and I believe that money came out of the cafeteria fund. And then we had some outdoor cafeteria tables, like the picnic tables that are outside a couple of the buildings, and that also came out of the cafeteria fund. So we do use other funding sources to do
Okay.
Oh,
some furniture inside the buildings.
Well, let's make very clear that that's cafeteria-related furniture.
Correct.
Because that has to come out of the cafeteria budget.
Correct.
And for example, last year we did so well in our lunch fund that the state told us you need to start spending more money. You cannot have that much money in the fund balance And that's when I told Claire, I want you to buy, you have $30,000 to upgrade all your buildings, either furniture or ovens or anything related to the
No,
to the
that's good,
lunchroom.
because people ask me all the time, and
Yes.
I was never,
I-
I thought that that's what we tended to do.
Yes. we-
Okay,
We try to do it out of the building, this way it's accounted for that way.
Right.
So it's kind of like in that budget line for each.
each building.
thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Anything else? And just remember that the good thing is that if we need to spend more money on repairs now, between the $2.2 million that we're moving there and the 400 that we have, we'll be able to speed up some of the repairs.
So, a classroom renovation, does that qualify as a repair?
It really,
Depends
it
what you
really
do.
depends on what you mean renovation. If I have to
Replace the carpet, paint, replace the tiles?
paint,
That's not
that
repair?
part I won't call it repair. You really have to repair the portion. But it's very broad. Like, for example, we could use a reserve for the paint, because that's repairing the. I would say yes to all the examples you asked, because as long as we don't build anything new, you could call it repair.
Thank you.
And thank you for your efforts. It's nice it's nice to see the cost
Yes.
savings measures and again, the fact though that there is still the repair reserve so that, you're getting stuff done and you're doing it under budget, so thank you.
Thank you, Antonio.